What's up, guys? This is TheKephas.
You ever have one of those moments where you realize that other people don't see the world the way that you do? And I mean this literally, I'm legally blind. So I was riding in the car with my wife the other night. She was driving, obviously. It was dark, and I brought up how the lights give off this weird starburst effect. You know, how streetlights or headlights or anything like that sort of explode outward with little rays? Turns out you probably don't, because according to my wife, most people don't see lights like that. They're just little balls of light, actually. So apparently my whole life is a lie, and something that I thought was completely normal actually isn't. And it kind of blew my mind, to be honest. I mean, I really thought that's just how lights looked. So it was this weird mix of surprise and a touch of humility, because I didn't know what I didn't know, and I didn't know that I didn't know it. And because I'm me, I started thinking about this whole experience a lot deeper than I probably needed to, but it got me thinking about how limited my view of the world really is. And now I'm not just being literal. And I mean this in a day-to-day sense too. The way I think I understand what's going on around me, what's going on inside other people, and even what's going on inside myself. It's all limited. Funny enough, I do think it's my visual impairment that's helped me understand all this a little bit. See, growing up, I always felt a little out of place. Not necessarily miserable or broken, just not quite synced up with the world around me. I felt more awkward than I wanted to be, more tense in situations that seemed easy for other people. I'd walk into a room and instantly feel this mix of uncertainty and hyper awareness because I didn't always know what was happening visually. I didn't always know who was where or what expression someone had or whether someone was waving at me or the person behind me. I don't have a good frame of reference for what other people can see. And because of that, I also don't have a good frame of reference for what I can see either. For a long time, I felt unseen or misunderstood, and if you've ever felt different, you can probably relate to that. But eventually, I realized something that took some of the sting out of it. People weren't failing to understand me because they didn't care or because they weren't paying attention. They just didn't have the same lived experience, and that doesn't make them flawed or insensitive, because honestly, I don't fully understand their experience either. I've come to realize how limited all our perspectives are, no matter who we are or what abilities we have. We all walk through life with this illusion that we're seeing things as they really are, when actually we're seeing things through the narrow little window of our own experience. And if you zoom out from that for a second, it's kind of wild. I mean, think about it. All of us spend so much of our lives assuming that our way of seeing the world is at least mostly accurate. We assume we understand other people pretty well. We assume our interpretations are right, our reactions make sense, and our beliefs and instincts line up with the real world. But most of the time, we're operating off of impressions, habits, bias, fear, memory, and a bunch of half-formed ideas we picked up without even noticing. We're all nearsighted in our understanding. Some of us literally, but all of us metaphorically. Once you really sit with the idea that your view of the world is only one view among many, it changes the way you interact with people. It becomes harder to judge or dismiss people, harder to assume that your experience is the whole story. Because more often than not, someone else sees something you don't, and you don't even know it, while you also see things they can't. I used to think being visually impaired meant I was always the one who needed help, that I was the one with the limited view, the one who had to rely on others. But the more I've lived, the more I've learned the opposite is true. Everybody needs help seeing the world clearly, just in different ways. You might not need help reading a sign or navigating a crowded space, but maybe you need help seeing your blind spots in relationships, or recognizing your emotional patterns, or understanding why someone reacted the way they did, or seeing a situation from someone else's angle. We all have areas where our vision just isn't sharp. We have limits. We have spots where we misinterpret things. Once you see that, something shifts. You start to appreciate what other people bring to your life. Other people expand your world. They fill in gaps you didn't know you had, and they help you see angles you would have completely missed without them. And yeah, sometimes people misunderstand you, but sometimes you misunderstand them too. Sometimes they assume too much about you, but sometimes you assume too much about them. And sometimes they don't get it, but sometimes neither do you. But realizing that is freeing in a way, because it puts everyone on the same playing field. Everyone is navigating a world too big to grasp completely. We're all working with limited information and trying to make sense of things the best we can. And that's where grace comes in. I think grace is one of the most underrated skills in the world. Grace is the art of giving people space to be flawed and to be human. It's what happens when you remember that other people's minds are just as limited as yours. Grace is when you pause before jumping to conclusions. It's when you soften your reaction because you realize there's probably more going on than what you see. And it's when you understand that most people aren't trying to be difficult or careless, they're just seeing the world through a different window. And honestly, sometimes their window is clearer than yours, and sometimes they see things you can't. If you're willing to let them in, you get a better picture than you had before. Our limitations don't have to isolate us, they can push us toward each other. My vision issues aren't just a challenge, they're a constant reminder that I don't have the whole story. I don't see everything clearly, and I don't understand everything fully. And the more honest I am about that, the more I appreciate the perspectives around me. It's humbling, but it's also comforting, because it means I don't need to pretend to have it all figured out. I don't have to act like I have perfect clarity, and I don't have to feel shame for not seeing what someone else sees naturally. And the same goes for you. You don't have to be perfect at understanding the world or the people around you. You don't have to know everything, and you don't have to see every angle. You just have to stay open, stay teachable, and stay willing to let your world get bigger through the people you meet. When you do that, relationships change, conversations change, even small everyday interactions like someone making a mistake or being short with you start to feel different. You stop taking everything so personally because you recognize how much is going on that you'll never know about. You start giving people the benefit of the doubt, and you start giving that same grace to yourself. We're all walking around with blind spots, missing information, and interpreting the world through a lens we didn't choose. So if we can offer each other patience, curiosity, and compassion, we make life easier for everyone. We make room for people to show us what we can't see ourselves, and we become people who help others see more clearly as well. And that's the kind of world I want to live in. Not one where everyone is fighting to prove their version of reality is the right one, but one where people understand that none of us see the full picture and we're all better off working together than pretending we don't need anyone. If being visually impaired has taught me anything, it's that I can thrive with help. And that doesn't make me weak, it makes me blessed, because it means I have people in my life that care about me. And when I look at the bigger picture, I think that's one of the best things about being human.
Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, let me know by clicking that like button. And feel free to share it with your friends so they can enjoy it as well. And if you'd like to see more videos, you can subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon to be notified as soon as new videos are posted. You can also follow me on Facebook, and if you'd like, you can support my work on Patreon. Links to all that stuff can be found in the description below. This is TheKephas. Until next time.